If I were creating a YouTube channel right now, these are the things that I would be doing to give myself a little bit of an edge, a little bit of an advantage, and these are things that I've learned from my own multiple successful YouTube channels over the last couple of years that you can implement as well. First thing you need to do is pick a niche. Now I know there's a ton of really terrible advice online right now saying you don't need to pick a niche, just do all the things and people will love you for your personality, and that is not something that's going to work to your benefit at the beginning stages of creating a platform. Later on, once you're developed, then you have the ability to branch out because people like you for you. But when they're just meeting you, they don't know who you are and they don't know how you're going to benefit them. So if they come to your YouTube channel and you're all over the place and they don't see the benefit to them, what you're going to be speaking into their lives or offering into their lives or helping them to grow in some way, they're not going to stick around. Remember, we as consumers are selfish. We want to spend our time and our efforts and our money in areas that are going to benefit us. So if I come to your YouTube channel and I have no clue what you do because you're doing house projects and healthy eating and you're doing workout things, but you're also doing social media tips and you're teaching me how to make candles, that's kind of crazy all over the place. And if I'm only interested in candle making and watching you create these candles and teaching me how to do them, I'm not going to want to stick around. I'm going to go want to find an expert in that area. Back when I was a photographer, we used to talk a lot about how people wanted specializations. I would hand my newborn child to a person who specialized in working with newborns because I knew I could trust that person because they were a specialist in it. However, if they did 17 other types of photography and they only occasionally worked with newborns, that would make me a little more apprehensive. I would probably rather hand a newborn to a specialist, right? So at that point, you need to pick a niche. You need to pick a lane and you need to go hard into that lane and really give them that particular type of content. Once you've started to build up a following, people start to recognize you, you then have the ability to branch out and add more things in. And if you actually go through the history of my channel here, you can see the iterations where I started to build out. I was very specific in the beginning of this channel and I built out from there, and you have the ability to do that too, but you gotta niche down first and foremost so people understand who you are and why they should be following you. Once you've got that niche, then you actually need to plan how many videos you're going to do per week. I recommend as a new channel, you're doing 1 to 2 videos per week. This is going to give you a good baseline. It's going to give that underlying content that you're putting out there without burning you out. Once you learn and you grow from there, then you can decide less, more, or on which occasions you want to be putting out those videos. But having consistency of 1 to 2 per week, and pick either number, doesn't matter which. You can do 1 per week or you can do 2 per week, but do not go back and forth between them. Have it consistent for a good several months at least so that people know what to expect and you train your algorithm. So 1 to 2 videos, main channel videos per week, and then I recommend shorts every single day. Shorts are vertical video on YouTube under 60 seconds long. It's very similar to TikTok and Reels, and I've got tutorials on how to do those down below. But with shorts, that does not count toward your monetization rate, but it does help to rapidly build your platform. They're shown inside of the shorts feed on your phone, so when people are on their phones scrolling through, they're much more likely to see these shorts than to stop and watch some of your longer videos. So if you want to grow quickly and really get that awareness going for your channel, do a daily short. You can repurpose what you're doing on TikTok and on Instagram. You don't even have to go out of your way to do this, but this is a great and significant way to grow your standing on the platform while you're developing quality content for the main part of that platform. Now the trick with this content is to make it engaging. You want comments, you want shares, you want that view time. And if you're not being engaging with your videos, it's not going to go well for you. It's going to take you a lot longer to get there. So in our next video, I'm actually going to be breaking down how you can make your videos more engaging and get that watch retention or that watch rate up and make sure you're getting that engagement as well. So hit the subscribe and notification bell. We're going to break down more of that in the next video, but make sure that you are using quality content to get them hooked in and then to get them to follow along on the journey. Now, another thing that I've learned is really important is specific keyword research. You are looking for very specific words to use in your titles. These are SEO friendly titles because remember, Google owns YouTube. So whenever somebody Googles something or YouTube something, they're shown options on YouTube. So if you have those strong keywords that people are actively searching, that's going to allow you a leg up on the competition. So you could put some basic title, but if it's not what people are searching specifically, you're going to get less views. If you do your research, and I have videos on how to do this, I'll link those down below for you, this is actually going to allow you to get a higher viewership without being someone who is well known on the platform. So you want to make sure you're doing your keyword research for your titles, for the things that you're putting in your description, and for some of those tags that you're going to be using on your videos as well. Now if you're watching this video, you're probably probably gearing up to enter the world of YouTube for yourself and you're doing your research, or you're newer to the world of YouTube and you're looking to level up a little bit. Let me share something that I have told my students for years and years and years, even before I became popular on YouTube or the social platforms, and that is that you do not have to wait to start. You can use what you have access to right now and grow as you go, which means you do not need a fancy camera or fancy lighting or a fancy background in order to be able to produce YouTube content. You don't need a fancy editing program, none of that. You can use what you have access to and what you understand right now to then be able to create your content. So if you have a cell phone, you have a camera source and a microphone source, you can record. You can use natural light, you can use the lighting in your house. If you are using lighting inside of your house instead of professional lighting like ring lights or soft boxes, you want to use a white base light rather than a yellow base light, but I've got videos on how to do that down below. And you want to make sure that you have what you have access to in your use right now and grow from there. Once you start your channel, people are going to start to subscribe, you're going to start to see more interactions, and then you can start to invest a little bit more in higher end cameras or lighting, locations, whatever it happens to be that you need. You can work with the editing programs you have now, and there's tons of apps you can use on your phone if you don't want to get something for your laptop. There's a lot of options that you have right now that are free or easy to use or very cheap to access, and you can work with those now and grow as you go. You will see iterations on every YouTube channel as every single person who is in this space starts to level up. But starting where you're at right now is the most important. The longer you wait, the longer it takes for you to monetize, which is what we want. This is our goal for this. So you want to be able to monetize, and if you wait a year to have enough money for a camera, that's a full year where you don't get to monetize. So at that point, start where you are right now. Right now, nobody's watching you. Nobody is paying attention, so if you fall on your face a little bit, if you use some trial and error tactics to see what's going to work for you, what's going to vibe with you, now's the time because nobody's paying attention. Later on, once you have that following, you can't be as free to do certain things that are outside of the realm of what you've established, so use this time to practice and to try things and to start to grow your platform. Use what you've got access to now so that you don't have to hold yourself back later on. Now, one thing that people tend to forget when they're producing their YouTube content is that they need to be leveraging their description, and inside of their description they should be leveraging affiliate links. This is a huge missed opportunity for a lot of YouTubers who don't do this very well because they just haven't thought it through. Your description is searchable content. Google reads that, so when people are searching, they're also looking at your description. Your description is very, very good for giving information about what the video is about, then helpful videos that are related to it. So if you look at my caption right now, go into my description box and see what I've got there. I have mentioned videos, I've got things that I'm selling, my courses and my webinars, things that I can offer people, but then below that, I also have affiliate links so people can go and see the equipment I'm using to film right now. If you like this footage, you can see my camera, you can see my tripods and my lighting. You have access to all of those things, and then if I'm talking specifically about something, I can link that down below as well. I have things that I affiliate for that I don't sell, but I sell for other entrepreneurs that I think my students would benefit from. There's all sorts of great things like legal templates and other courses and just really great stuff that I think that would do really well inside of your businesses. I have those linked down below in case anyone would like access to that. And believe me when I say, I have sold a lot without ever talking about it on YouTube. I come on and I do these free educational videos every single day. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for those daily videos. And I do not usually talk about products. I have one series where I do talk about products and I actively talk about things that I'm affiliated for, but in most of my videos, I don't. But I still make a ton of money in those affiliate links because people like me, they like what I'm doing, they go to check out my equipment, they go to check out the other things that I recommend down in my description, and you have access to that as well. So even if you're not selling things, even if you're not talking about things, you have the opportunity to sell some things just because people like what you're doing or like how you're doing things, or you know, the equipment that you use. It's not going to be something that just pops up every single day, but like if you can make a sale on a camera, make a kickback from it, or if you can make a sale of a little tripod and make a couple of bucks, Why not? Leverage your description and really leverage those affiliate links. And if you want more information on working with affiliate links, let me know. I'll make a video for you, but you gotta get in my comments right now and let me know. Another thing that I love to do on YouTube that saves me a ton of time and effort and brings in a brand new audience is collaborations. A lot of people jump onto their YouTube channel thinking you have to be the star, you have to do all the things. But if you can facilitate a conversation with other people, that gives your audience someone new to learn from, it reinforces the things that you're teaching, and it introduces you to that person's audience. You are literally bringing their following in to watch them, but they also get to see you. They also get to see the other videos on your channel. So this is a really great opportunity for you to bring someone else in so that they can do the heavy lifting of teaching something and you just get to interview them and talk with them. You then get their audience, and your audience then gets information that you can't tell. So I've done a lot of videos on collaborations, how to do this. I'll link all those things down below for you, but I highly recommend collaborating. But there's a trick to this. Collaborations, if you build it into your YouTube ecosystem as something you have to do on a weekly basis, it can become really hard to find quality people to then join that presence. So unless you have a very strong network and you have things built out for months and months in advance, I recommend using this as bonus content. So consistently do your 1 to 2 videos per week and do your daily shorts, but then as a bonus, when you have really good guests, bring them on an extra day that you're not putting out other videos. So I have Saturdays as my bonus day. Anytime I have extra videos I want to share, I drop those on Saturdays for you here on the channel, and I bring in my guests then. They can then speak to my audience. My guest can benefit from my audience can benefit from my guest, and I benefit from my guest's audience as well. It takes off that heavy lifting for me, gives me a little bit of a break in having to think and speak and create content. I just guide what they are already doing, and it's a win-win-win-win-win situation for everyone involved. So I highly recommend collaborations. Of course, one of the most missed things that people just neglect to do inside of their videos is give a call to action. At the end of the video, in the middle of the video, you should be directing them to do something. Just because you're giving them really great educational or entertaining content does not mean that they're going to take action after that. Tell them to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You've heard me do that several times in this video. Tell them to join your newsletter. Direct them to another video. You've heard me do that several times too. You want to give effective calls to action. If it makes sense with what you're talking about, drop it there. Don't go crazy and in the middle of your video just be like, and you should come over and buy my membership. You can buy it here. That doesn't make sense. Do that at the end if you need to, but throughout the course of your video, you can say, hit that subscribe bell, because in the next video, we're going to be teaching you about how to make your videos more engaging to get the comments and to get the shares. By the way, did you hit that subscribe and notification bell? Because that's coming next week. But you want to tell them that something related to what you're talking about is happening in the next episode. You want to make sure that you are drawing out those opportunities for you to use those calls to action, and at the very end, give them one good strong call to action. Do not give them more than one. If you get to the end of your video and you're telling them to subscribe and go to your newsletter and buy your course, that's too many. People don't take action when they're not sure which path to take. Give one call to action at the end, and then if things happen to slip into the conversation, like subscribing or commenting or whatever, then you can do that. But give one big, strong, intentional call to action somewhere in your video so that they can take those next steps. Usually the end is good, because otherwise they're going to keep watching the video and forget to do that later on. If you have questions on growing your YouTube channel, go ahead and drop those down below. I'm dropping daily videos to help you level up on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, live streaming, and with the tools and resources that you need for done with you content, so that you can just use the scripts that I give you, fill in the blanks, record and create your content, and get back to running your business without the stress and overwhelm. I'm answering questions down below and forming more videos for you over the next couple of days, so I'll see you in the next episode.